whenever we begin, we try to have a good motivation or good heart. When we have a pure motivation, like what is a pure motivation? For example, we're all here to learn meditation, but the real reason or the basic reason we're here is we want to be happy, and we want to live happy, healthy, and meaningful life, have healthy and happy relationships. Um, and so, because we want to have we want to have a happy life, we want to learn meditation. So that's a good motivation. That's a pure motivation. And but then we try to extend our scope out to our friends and family, and also to all living beings. If you want, you can adjust your cushion, so you don't have to be looking like this, or else you might get a cramp in your neck. So um, if you want, you can adjust your cushion toward so it's more facing me during the lecture if you want. So um, anyway, mm, so in this class I speak in English, and then I try to summarize in Korean also. So that way, those who don't understand fully the Koreans can also benefit. Mm. Anyway, um, so we try to have whatever we do, which we always try to check our motivation, our kind of intention, because if we have a good intention or pure intention, then the result is always good. And so I want to learn meditation. I want to be here in this class. I want to learn meditate in order so that I can learn to be more happy and more peaceful, uh, more mm, more free, and and then in so doing, I can help those who like my friends and relatives, and be of some help to them as well. 음, 그래서 우리가 어떤 이런 모임을 시작할 때나 뭐 언제든지 사실은 우리의 그 동기를 이렇게 확인하는 게 좋아요. 왜냐하면 순수한 그 기도하는 이유도 바로 그 이유로 기도하는 거고요. 순수한 동기로 뭘 하면 결과가 항상 좋기 때문입니다. 그래서 순수한 동기란 이제 내가 명상을 배워서 이제 내가 마음의 그런 건강과 행복을 가져서 이제 남들도 행복하게 하겠다. So um, for me personally, many people have helped me in my life. Have been very kind and generous, starting with my father and my mother who gave birth to me, and um, many teachers along the way, relatives, friends have been of great help to me, and I'm sure the same is for you. So 우리 인생에 우리에게 이제 도움을 주신 분들이 많아요. 우리가 은혜를 입은 우리 부모로부터 시작해서 이제 식구들, 또한 친구, 스승 이런 선생 이런 분들이 이제 우리 은혜를 입었어요. 그분들한테. So, for me personally, I want to return their kindness, and I want to be of some, I want to be of some help to them as well as to anyone, really, isn't it? It's kind of if we are lost in our own kind of suffering or emotions, then it's very difficult to be of help to others. And even though we may want to help our parents or our friends, it's quite difficult to be of some help actually, because we're very limited in our ability to help. 이렇게 은혜를 입은 부모나 그 뭐랄까, seems like when I'm speaking Korean, I'm looking this way, and then when I'm speaking English, I'm looking this way. It's like the world is very divided these days. So anyway, 네, 그래서 우리가 이제 그 은혜를 갚고 싶고 이렇게 도움이 되고 싶지만, 부모에게 도움이 되고 싶지만, 친척들에게 도움이 되고 싶지만, 친구들에게 도움이 되고 싶지만, 우리는 도움이 되는 게 이제 좀 힘들어요. 우리의 그 한계가 있기 때문에, 또 우리의 이렇게 도움이 될 수 있는 그런 능력이 부족한 거죠. So meditation helps us become free from our kind of internal turmoils and kind of emotional problems, and make us more stable and more happy and more kind of consistent and reliable, and above all, we'll just become more kind of relaxed and happy. And then it's very easy to be of help to others, to give help as well as to give, to give like material things. So 우리가 이제 행복하면, 그럼 남에게 이렇게 행복을 주는 것은 자연스럽게 하게 돼요. 그거는 이제 우리 마음이 이렇게 튼튼하고 행복하면, 평화로우면, 그럼 이제 남을 돕는 것은 저절로 자연스럽게 하게 되고, 또 그래서 이제 명상은 이제 이런 내면의 갈등으로부터, 감정적인 이런 문제로부터 자유로워지면, 스스로 이렇게 좀 튼튼하면, 그럼 이제 남에게 도움이 될 수 있다는 거예요. So that's kind of the motivation we should have when we learn, or whatever we do. We should try to have like altruistic motivation or compassionate motivation, pure motivation. In so doing, then whatever we do, it turns out quite well, and we don't have very many difficulties, and we have kind of inner strength. Compassion always gives us kind of inner strength, and 그래서 우리 이런 이제 동기로 우리가 이제 명상으로 행복하고 행복해지고 남에게도 행복을 주겠다, 이런 동기로 이제 우리는 항상 우리의 동기를 확인하고, 또 그런 좋은 동기를 가지면, 그럼 그 가지는 자체가 이제 우리의 마음에 이렇게 힘이 생겨요. 자비심의 동기를 이렇게 가지면, 그럼 마음의 힘이 이렇게 마음에 힘이 생기고, 그리고 어려움이 별로 없고, 그리고 항상 결과가 좋아요. So yeah, that's the reason we say the prayers, and that's the reason we to start with a good motivation. So last week we talked about two things. Do you remember last week? Those who were here last week, what did we talk about? We talked about what? We talked about you probably don't remember. But we talked about two things. Anyone remember? Why? Yeah, why we should meditate? Yeah, why we should? Yeah, what is meditation, right? Why we should meditate and what is meditation? So we'll review quickly. Why should we meditate? Why should we learn meditation? Why? Why do you think? To be happy. Yes, that's right. That's right. And we talked about that last week, quite extensively. Happiness. We try to be happy in finding, this is happiness is something uh, we are naturally inclined to. It's not something you have to learn. Everybody wants to be happy. That's just very natural and innate within every human being, and also within every living being, including animals and so forth. So 모든 사람은 행복하고 싶어요. 그거는 배운 게 아니라 그냥 저절로 우리 인간뿐만 아니라 모든 살아있는 존재, 동물 비롯해서 더 행복하고 싶어요. So how do we get this happiness that we so we so we so we so desire? 우리가 이렇게 간절히 바라는 행복은 어디서 찾을 수 있을까요? Of course, it's money, isn't it? Yes. If we might think that many people think that money brings happiness, but I think you guys are a little more, how do you say, awakened. So we know, we know that money is not the source of true happiness, even though money brings some kind of temporary happiness. It's not the real happiness that we seek. And if money was the source of happiness, all the rich people would be happy. Are rich people happy? No. There's actually a kind of a study that the rich people and poor people, they compared which are more happy. Which do you think were more happy, rich people or poor people? About the same. About the same. They were both unhappy. 어떤 연구에 이제 이렇게 부자와 가난한 사람들 어느 어느 게 어느 이제 누가 더 행복한지 그런 그 연구가 있었는데 비슷했대요. 둘 다 행복하지 못한 거예요. So, if you think about let's say the really happy people, if I think about who's really happy on this earth, in general, it's like most people are kind of, I mean, everyone experiences temporary happiness, but in general, people are kind of dissatisfied, And this is in general, most people are dissatisfied. So if you're dissatisfied, if you don't have the happiness you want, that's normal. That's normal. 대체적으로 사람들은 행복하지 못해요. 이렇게 만족하지 못해요. 그래서 스스로 만족하지 못하고 행복하지 못하면 그게 정상이에요. 이게 다 그래요. 다 그래요. If you look at Instagram, then you might think I'm the only one that's unhappy, but everybody on Instagram is unhappy, just like you. Isn't that good news? Yeah. 그러니까 이렇게 페이북 이런 데 보면 이제 영어로는 이제 인스타그램이라고 해야 되고 한국말로는 페북이라고 해야 되는 연령대를 보니까 아무튼 페북이나 이런 거 인스타 이런 거 보면 이제 우리만 불행하고 다른 사람 다 행복한 것 같은데 다행히 다 불행합니다. Yeah. So that's 좋은 소식이죠. So yeah, everyone is kind of this has this kind of, everyone wants to be happy so badly, but people just are not happy, and we're also not an exception, and we're not happy. So we don't have the happiness that we want, the lasting kind of genuine fulfillment. We all want that, but we don't have that. 우리가 원하는 그런 간절히 원하는 행복은 이제 좀 오래가고 의지할 수 있고 이런 그런 충만함, 행복감은 이제 우리에게 없는 거예요. So let's think about who's really happy on this earth. Who do you think on this planet? Who do you think are the happy people? Please let me know what you think. 누가 행복한 것 같아요? Children. That's right. Children are probably the most happy kind of individuals on the planet. I was also very happy living in a very, small country village until I was 9 when I immigrated to America. So children are very happy. 그쵸? 아이들이 이제 행복하죠. 또 누가 행복해요? What do you think? Who else is happy, do you think? Who else is Dalai Lama? That's right. That's right, of course. The great teachers, our great teachers, are Dalai Lama and my teachers. They are very, very peaceful. They're never really disturbed. They never get angry. They never get frustrated. They never get stressed. They feel angry sometimes, but they never indulge in anger. They may feel sadness, but they never indulge, in sadness. 그렇죠. 성인들, 이런 달라마 존자님, 이런 저희 스승님들, 이런 분들이 이제 대체로 행복하고 평화롭고, 그리고 거의 그런 뭐랄까 분노나 뭐 이런 그 슬픔에 빠지지 않죠. 분노를 화가 안 나는 건 아니죠. 화가 나고 슬픔을 안 느끼는 건 아니죠. 슬픔을 느끼지만 슬픔에 빠지지는 않죠. 그리고 분노를 표출하지는 않죠. 이게 다른 거죠. 그리고 이제 그렇죠. 세상에서 가장 행복한 사람들은 그런 민규님처럼 세상에서 가장 행복한 사람 이런 별칭도 있으시거든요. So one of my teachers, he has this kind of nickname or title, world's happiest man. 민규름씨, he is one of my teachers, and yes, I think on the whole planet, the happiest people are those who have meditated for a long time, who are great practitioners, and they have achieved the happiness through the inner work, through meditation, and so they are the happiest people in the world, without doubt. They are the most, because they have achieved the happiness of the mind, the peace of the mind, the freedom of the mind, and they're not disturbed by the mind, whereas we are quite disturbed by the mind. So that's what makes them so happy. 이 성인들은 이제 마음의 평화와 자유와 그런 이제 이루었고, 또한 마음으로부터 이렇게 지배받거나 생각으로부터 이렇게 지배받거나 아니면 그 고통을 이제 전혀 받지 않기 때문에 그럼 이제 생각으로 또 생각들이 괴롭히지 않기 때문에 이제 가장 행복한 분들이죠. 가장 행복한 사람. So they're not affected by their thoughts like we are. So that's what makes them happy. So would you like to be like them? 그분들처럼 되고 싶어요? 예. 할 수 있을까요? You think it's possible? Maybe. Of course. Yeah. Yes, it's possible. Yes, very possible. Because we all have the same potential. 같은 가능성이 있기 때문에 가능한 겁니다. 이렇게 우리의 불성은 무한하기 때문에. So we have what's called the Buddha nature, which is the like infinite potential, kind of our Buddha nature, or we call it our true nature, has three kind of infinite qualities. So we have these three infinite qualities. We are infinitely compassionate, infinitely wise, and infinite potential, these three, or infinite strength, we say, these three. So this is who we really are. We have this kind of infinite strength, infinite compassion, and infinite wisdom. So 우리의 자체는 이제 무한하게 그런 자비롭고 무한한 자비, 무한한 지혜, 무한한 힘이 있어요. 이게 우리 자체입니다. So because we have this infinite potential, of course we can be like them. We can be like Buddha or the great teachers. We can so we can, through meditation or through spiritual practice, we can certainly in this lifetime we can definitely maybe not become completely enlightened, but certainly we can become less selfish, less stressed, less sad, less anxious, less afraid, more courageous, more peaceful, more compassionate, more more wise. So that's definitely possible. Um, so 당연히 가능하죠. 이렇게 음, 이 완전한 깨달음은 뭐 조금 어려울 겁니다. 그렇지만 이제 이렇게 덜 스트레스 받고 덜 이기적이고 이렇게 불안하고 뭐 그리고 더 행복하고 지혜롭고 자비로울 수가 있죠. 네. So I also think about the like have you been to Thailand by chance? Have you been to Thailand? Who's been to Thailand? All the Koreans have been to Thailand, I think. If you haven't been to Thailand, you're probably not Korean. I mean, all the Koreans they go to Thailand quite often. I've been to Thailand many times. I love Thailand. Um, I mean, and the Thai people are very. I mean, in the not less than Bangkok, but more in the kind of in the rural areas. They're kind of happy. The Thai people are quite kind of. They don't have too many emotional problems. So I think the Thai are quite happy. Nepali also, those in the rural areas, they're quite also happy. So what makes them more happy than Koreans, or I don't know about Turkey. I don't know. What do you think? Not happy. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Well, that's everybody. That's universal. Yeah. And Mexicans, what do you think? Mexicans, I've been to Mexico many times, so I think Mexicans are pretty more more happy, especially in the kind of countryside, isn't it? Yeah, they have less emotional kind of hang-ups. Of course, um, but why? What makes the kind of the Mexicans or the Thai? Why are they more happy than Americans or Turkish or Koreans? The reason is they don't have so many kind of the um, growing up in a kind of modern society with a smartphone and so many distractions and so many things to compare. The comparison is a big cause of unhappiness because we compare. We always compare, you know. So without before the smartphone or before like the in the rural areas maybe they have less comparing. So they're a little more happy. They're more happy. 그래서 이게 현대 사회에 이게 비교하는 게 많아져서 이렇게 불행의 주 원인은 비교하는 마음이라고 할 수 있거든요. 그래서 so I mean the simple kind of country folks they don't have the or yeah they don't have the kind of the emotional hangups as the people who live in the cities even though they're more comfortable they have more kind of material resources and material comforts they're less happy than those who have like less material resources and more kind of living in the rural areas. Um, 그래서 어쨌든 이런 분들이 이렇게 잘 살지만 물질적으로는 잘 살지만 이렇게 못 사는 그런데 사람 이렇게 단순한 그런 생활을 하는 사람들보다는 이제 더 불행하다는 거예요. 더 불행하고 더 마음이 복잡하고 이렇게. So, um, so how do we become like the great teachers or even like children? What is the difference between children and us? Why are the children more happy and adults less happy? Why is that? What do you think? 음, okay, good answer. 그러니까 왜 우리가 아이들보다는 더 불행할까요? 여기 스님은 이제 과거와 성인들은 뭐 과거와 미래에 대한 이렇게 생각이 너무 많기 때문에. So the simple answer is that we have a lot more thoughts. We have a lot more concerns. We have a lot more worries. We have a lot more hopes. You know, these two things actually we have a lot more of hope and fear. Hope and fear. 구체적으로는 그냥 성인들은 이 두 가지 생각이 더 많은 거예요. 생각이 더 많고 구체적으로 모든 생각은 이 두 가지로 나눌 수 있거든요. 바람과 두려움. 좋은 것을 바라고 안 좋은 것을 두려워하는. So 아이들은 so children have less of this, you know. Children are more kind of simple. They have less concepts. Good, bad, expensive, cheap, pretty, ugly, 뭐 이런 these kind of concepts. And these kind of concepts are not necessarily bad in of themselves because we need concepts to live. I mean, and live. But when we become attached to these concepts, this causes a lot of suffering. So 이런 바람과 두려움, 뭐 좋아하고 싫어하고, 뭐 비싸고 싸고 이런 게 별로 없어요 아이들한테는. 그래서 이제 그런 거를 이제 배우는 거죠 이렇게. 그래서 이 뭐 구체적으로 이렇게 분별하는 마음 자체는 나쁜 게 아니에요. 근데 이제 집착을 하면 그런 고통을 많이 만든다는 거죠. 이렇게. 오늘은 왠지 영어로만 해도 될 것 같은 느낌이 있네. 다 알아듣는 것 같기도 하고. 다 알아들으세요? 이렇게. 아니요? 오케이. 한국말 필요하세요? 오케이. So, anyways, yeah, so these attachment to our thoughts basically is very simple. If you know, it's an attachment to our thoughts. You know, our thoughts. And most of our thoughts are generated by this habitual way of thinking, which is based on hope and fear. Hope and fear. So this is how our mind is kind of always operating based on hope and fear. And and also it operates habitually and automatically, isn't it? Our minds, we're thinking, but you're not like thinking intentionally, right? Thoughts continually arise habitually based on hope and fear, based on hope and fear, based on good and bad, based on black and white, you know, these kind of, we call it dualistic thinking or dualistic thinking. So, 예, 그래서 우리의 생각은 저절로 이렇게 돌아가고 있어요. 저절로 일어나고 있어요. 우리 의도적으로 생각하는 게 아니라 습관적으로 우리의 머리가 이렇게 돌아가고 있어요. 그 습관은 바람과 두려움에 기반해서 이렇게 습관이 돼버린 거예요. 그래서 저절로 좋아하고 싫어하고 이렇게 머리가 이렇게 돌아가고 있어요. 저절로 자동 모드로 이제. 그래서 그것을 so the basic problem is I don't know problem but basic kind of way of we're always kind of lost in these, we're in the thoughts. So in psychology they call it the conscious mind. There's, you know, they separate the conscious mind and then the subconscious mind and then the unconscious mind, right? So we're always in the kind of conscious mind, which is the thinking mind. We're always kind of thinking. We're always lost in our thinking mind, isn't it? Yeah. 그래서 우리는 항상 이 표면 의식이라고 하는데, 표면 의식, conscious mind, 표면 의식, 생각하는 마음에 항상 잠겨 있어요. 우리는. 그렇잖아요? 항상 이렇게 뭐랄까, 거기에 살고 있다는 거예요. 여러분 실제 거주지는 머리구 생각동, 예, 거기 사시는 거예요. 예, 고통빌라. So 101호. 그러니까 so we're living in our heads, you know, all our life we just live in our heads, you know. And if the thoughts are very positive or very happy, then maybe no problem. But actually, the thoughts are quite, how do you say, negative and very, very kind of self-centered, self-centered. Like you're the only important person or something, you know? Like you're the only one that matters. This is how our thoughts are kind of generated. Um, Very self-centered, very kind of negative, and in general, and also very sad. You know, always protecting yourself, always making some out, making some story about some sad story about yourself and how unfair it is or how bad people are. These kind of thoughts are kind of like uh, are the generally the thoughts we have is, for the most part. So and because of this, because we live in these thoughts, and that's all we know. That's why we're unhappy. Is because we live in this kind of unhappy environment of the head. That's where we live. So 그래서 우리는 이렇게 행복하지 못한 환경에 살고 있는 거예요. 이렇게 어떻게 어떤 때는 가혹하고 어떤 때는 뭐랄까 이렇게 어쨌든 자기 중심인 생각들 이렇게 자기를 보호하고 뭐 자기가 억울하고 또 남을 원망하고 뭐 이런 이기적이고 또한 부정적인 이런 그런 생각들이 계속 돌아가고 있는데 우리는 거기에서 산다는 거예요. 그 생각이 있는데 머릿속에 산다는 거죠. 그래서 어떻게 행복할 수 있겠어요? So that's why we're unhappy and people are unhappy is because they're constantly lost in their heads and lost in these thoughts which are kind of destructive and self-centered. So meditation is about getting out of the head. 그래서 명상은 머리에서 나오는 거예요. 머리에서 나오는 거. 이렇게 머리로부터 이사 가야 돼요. 이렇게 거주지를 바꿔야 되죠. 이렇게. So yeah, it's about living with kind of learning to live in the heart, in the present moment, here, not here. So you have to how do you say you have to move here. And sometimes we say that the longest distance in the world is from the head to the heart. So 그래서 이사 가야 되죠. 근데 가장 먼 거리라고도 해요. 머리에서 이렇게 가슴으로 가는 게. 그래서 so yeah, so try to connect with our we say with our true nature, and that's the heart. We can say that it's the heart, or you could say compassion, you could say wisdom, you could say awareness. This is our true nature. So we're trying to live here, you know, with compassion, with not with selfishness, self-centeredness, negativity, hatred, this kind of thing. We're trying to live here with compassion, with awareness, with wisdom, and so. 그래서 여기서 살지 않고 여기로 이제 살아야 된다는 거죠. 우리의 참 본성과 함께 하는 거예요. 머리로 하지 않고 또 다르게 말하자면 업과 하지 않고 본성과 함께 하는 거예요. 그래서 이기심과 함께 하지 않고 번뇌와 함께 하지 않고 자비와 함께 하고 지혜와 함께 하고 또한 알아차림과 함께 하는 거죠. So why are we stuck in our heads? This is our karma. Our karma is in our heads, and we are kind of, how do you say, 지배받는다. We are controlled by our karma. We are ruled by our karma. And karma basically means habit. That's what it means. Habit. We're ruled by our habit. Your karma arises in thoughts. Like, for example, you see someone eating, let's say, here's some fruit, and you think, oh, she's she's really selfish. she, she's really greedy, she's eating a lot of fruit or something. I don't know. So that's your karma. That's your karma of like seeing people as greedy, and or that's actually um, that's actually your own greed being kind of reflected in their action. But or like when you get angry, if someone says something bad about you or something, you get angry, right? Then that's your karma, right? And it rises in your thoughts. So becoming aware of your thoughts and not being by kind of controlled by your thoughts, that's meditation. 그래서 우리의 업은 생각으로 일어나요. 그래서 이렇게 생각을 잘 알아차리고 이렇게 생각과 함께 하지 않고 이제 이런 것이 명상입니다. So that's meditation. Meditation is learning to become free from your thoughts, getting out of the head, and not being so controlled by your thoughts. 명상이 바로 그거예요. 우리의 생각으로부터 통제받지 않고 지배받지 않고 이제 생각으로부터 자유로워지는 게요. 그래서 이게 명상입니다. So meditation has two things. One is becoming free from our thoughts, and also becoming accustomed to our true nature, which is wisdom and compassion and awareness. So 명상은 바로 이거요. 생각으로부터 자유로워지고 우리의 참 본성인 지혜와 자비와 알아차림과 이렇게 알아차림을 알게 되는 거, 알아차림과 함께 하는 거, 또한 익숙해지는 거라고 볼 수 있어요. Okay, so we'll take a break here, and then after the break, we can have some questions and answers. Actually, I just reviewed what we talked about last week, a little different way, but anyway. So this maybe second period, I'll explain two more concepts, and then we'll do some question and answer period as well. Okay.